Hi, it's Alaska Granny. It's time to clean out the pantry, maybe even your freezer. Something to remember is that some of the foods in your freezer also are part of your prepper pantry, your food storage stockpile, and maybe you need to rotate some of those as well. So here today, I have a very easy 5-ingredient black bean soup. It has a vegan option, it has several different ways you can serve it, and it's pretty versatile, it's easy, and it's basic. What do you need for this easy black bean soup? You need a can of black beans, a can of chicken broth, or for the vegan option, use vegetable broth. You need a cup of salsa, and this is where you can make it any way you like it, depending on the salsa that you choose. Salsas come in so many different varieties, you can certainly use your favorites. Then you need a half a teaspoon of cumin and a half a teaspoon of chili powder. The nice thing about making your own soups is you can spice them up the way you like, add the seasonings that you prefer, and make it suit your palate. Here are a few variation ideas on ingredients. If you have a can of black beans, use that. I cooked a big batch of black beans in my crock pot recently, and I froze it into these freezer containers. I have then the equivalent of 3 cans of beans from the 1-pound package. I'll put a link to the black beans in the crock pot in case you're interested in trying that out. So I want to use the ones out of the freezer today. You can use a can of broth. I have a frozen cup of vegetable broth that I made a while ago, so I need to rotate that out of my freezer as well. You can also use bouillon cubes if you like. You can use whatever kind of broth you enjoy, whether it's chicken or vegetable or whatever you have on hand. Now you can see these could easily be made into a meal in a bag. You add the beans, the broth, the salsa. You'd probably want to get a smaller container of salsa because this one is bigger than the 1 cup. You can measure out your spices or your seasonings into a small container. I picked up these little boxes at the Dollar Tree and then add them right into your bag. I have my pan on a medium heat. I'm going to add the beans. Now these will take a little longer because these beans are frozen. Then I'm going to add my broth. And that's still a little frozen too. So this will take a little bit longer than if you were just making it out of a can. I'm going to add about half of this jar. This one's thick and chunky, mild. Then I have my half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of chili powder. Give it a stir, and then you want to heat it up until it's all heated through. So stir it occasionally. You can see it's all heated through, the flavors have all blended together, and it's ready to serve. Yum, doesn't that look good? What's one way to serve your black bean soup? Ladle it into a bowl, top it with, I like Colby Jack cheese. And if you had some tortilla chips, wouldn't they be delicious for dipping? What if you had leftovers? Use a slotted spoon and put some right onto a flour tortilla. Add a sprinkle of cheese, and you can roll it up into a burrito. We all know my burrito rolling skills are not perfect, but you get the idea. What if you have a big crowd for dinner and you're not sure this will stretch far enough? Cook a pot of rice. Ladle your soup over it. And once again, I'm adding some Colby Jack cheese. You could put any kind of toppings on these that you want, whatever you prefer. That's just something that I like. Wouldn't it be great if you had some sour cream, sliced avocado? Yum. But we don't usually have those items in our prepper pantry, but you might have them in your refrigerator. There you have it, several ways to prepare black bean soup and 3 variations on how to serve it. Mealtime doesn't have to be a struggle. Have some basic ingredients in your prepper pantry, your food storage stockpile, and then make meals with those. Use those foods, rotate and replace them. Then you'll know how to make meals cheap, fast, and filling, and no matter what the day brings. Leave it in the comments below. What's a great recipe that you have that we might want to try so we can learn new meal ideas from each other. I hope you'll like my video, share it, please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel. Let's try that soup. Very good. Let's try it with the rice. Hot. That's very good too. Now, if you've seen me roll up a burrito before, you know that I always say, sometimes once you roll it, you can't put it down, you just have to start eating. This needs 2 hands, so you're just gonna have to trust me. This one's delicious too.